Hey guys, so I thought it would be kind of interesting to make a new video breaking down my process of designing a CAW in WWE 2K. Let me know if you guys would be interested in this type of video being a routine series for the channel for specific CAWs. If not, it's all good. Again, I know I say it a lot, but you're not gonna hurt my feelings, brother. I genuinely am pretty open-minded as far as this channel is concerned. So before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, follow me for updates or edits on Instagram, X/Twitter, and also consider joining the Patreon as well. While I still don't have enough public watch hours to meet YouTube's monetization requirements, I need all the help I can get, so just know all of your support and attention does not go unnoticed. I genuinely appreciate it. But enough of the standard pre-video YouTuber speech, let's get down to business, brother. I've wanted to make a video like this for a while now. Less like a tutorial, but just a genuine analysis of my personal way of building a CAW from the ground up. So first things first, I always have to start with a name. Some other CAW creators are big with starting with an in-game physical base, usually meaning a good face texture, tattoos if applicable and body template, or IRL inspiration from real pro wrestlers or even hybrids of different wrestlers. Now I don't have a problem with that way of coming up with the idea for a CAW, but I personally, again, this is all just my opinion, it's definitely not gospel by any means. I personally think the name is the main sticking point of the character, or any character. Even in comics or movies and other forms of media. If the CAW name isn't very memorable, your character in turn is not going to be very distinctive overall. So for the CAW you see me making in this video, for example, his name is Joey Headrush. Started off as Joey Chaotic in 2K22, but then as an MMA fan and overall combat sports fan, I randomly saw a clothing line called Headrush Brand Clothing. Where they offer honestly, mostly fake motorcycle club, lone wolf, heavy metal, douchebaggy designed clothing, but a lot of the designs and logos themselves actually looked admittedly kinda sick. So that to me solidified the Headrush part of the name, but then also nailed down the look and vibe to go for. Now as far as name application based off what I just explained, I really like the idea of a name that has a realistic element in the first or last name. For example, I could have just named him Headrush, but to me, adding Joey adds an element of humanity to the character and again another layer in the metaphorical onion of realism. Although for some characters it might actually be better to just leave it at Headrush, for example with my other CAW Crimson. He is obviously supposed to be a more dark, cultish, devilish, and scarier character than Joey Headrush was ever meant to be. Keeping the single name format can help make the character 1. Stand out, and 2. Set the tone of said character. So what works for one CAW might not work for another as far as names go, based on the character archetype you also are trying to establish. Another thing that works as well, again as an overall sports fan, is using different nickname formats. For example, in fight sports particularly, there's a lot of fighters and subsequently there's a lot of nicknames of said fighters. So again, for example, in MMA there's fighters like Donald Cowboy Cerrone, or simply just Cowboy Cerrone, Chad Money Mendez, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, Colby Chaos Covington, etc. The format generally is first name, nickname, then last name. Even in boxing, there's Canelo Alvarez, Bam Rodriguez, Gervonta Tank Davis, etc. Now in boxing they tend to use the nickname as the first name. So it tends to go nickname, then last name, completely disregarding the first name. Or even in American football, there's RG3, Primetime Deion Sanders, Night Train Lane, etc. So to summarize the point, there's a lot of different avenues you can take for coming up with a name for your CAW, and I personally choose to pull from real-life examples for inspiration. Then to me, when the name is ironed out, that is when you can work on fleshing out the rest of the CAW under the framework established earlier. This is where you have complete and utter freedom, brother. Now we have Joey Headrush. Where is he from? I personally went with Battle Creek, Michigan. I think that birthplace is a fairly realistic choice given the premise of the character. I think most people would agree these are the minutest of details, and I would generally agree, but I do think they serve a purpose in coming together to paint a broader picture of the character you're trying to depict. So now I know that was a lot just to nail down a name and a birthplace, but again, this is all just my way of going about creating the CAWs you guys see on the channel. But now again we have Joey Headrush, from Battle Creek, Michigan. What is his personality like? I assume a douchebag, immature, rocker type. Going back to the origin of the Headrush name .so, I then take those principles and characteristics and apply them in the context of a pro wrestling attire. Now when it comes to attires, there's basically two schools of thought, in my opinion. Where you can either take the minimalist route, and mostly have the CAW rely on its base to convey the tone, or you can take a maximized route of really making sure the attire is the main vocal point of the character's appeal. If you would like a video on breaking down designing an attire for a CAW, you're in luck, as I have one on the channel already. So be sure to go check that video out as well. Now to be fair, the attire I made in that video kinda sucks, but I do touch on some very key details related to attires overall. Thank you for sticking around to the end, brother. I do hope that this video was informative and can overall help you guys out with your own CAWs. I also want to say I really appreciate all of your guys' support of the channel. Whether it's on here, on Instagram, X, or Patreon. If you guys have any questions, pointers, or further feedback, please be sure to leave a comment below, and consider subscribing. I'll catch y'all on the next one.